Good morning, welcome to Bitcoin Bounce. Today, Steve from Crypto Crew University gave us some really concerning news about Bitcoin. He was looking at 4 charts that shows bearish signals. On the overall, Steve is still bullish and reckon the bottom has been in, but there is some indication in the markets that we might fall to $13,700. So let's listen to Steve. And then I've got Dion here. He's going to do analysis of what Steve was saying.
4 charts that could cause Bitcoin to spiral out of control. These are the 4 charts that absolutely scare me. This one's very interesting. This is on the daily chart. Above, we have price action. Below, we have the RSI, the relative strength index. What we've noticed is that there was a 40% drop here, a 40% drop here, at precisely the same pattern that's repeating. In the RSI, we were creating a low, a higher low, another higher low, another higher low. We were creating this beautiful trend line here. And at the moment that we broke this trend line, that's when the 40% drop happened. Now you'll notice that this trend line, we weren't following it for a couple days or maybe even a week or two. It was a substantial amount of time that we were following this pattern here. And when it broke, that was precisely the moment that we fell to this new low, creating our low here. And then we started the pattern again with our low, a higher low, another higher low, another higher low, until we finally broke it here. When we broke this trend line, we had another 40% drop in prices to here, 17,500. And then we started the same pattern again. We had our low, another low, a higher low, another higher low, another higher low, a higher low, another higher low, and another higher low. And we just broke this trend line again. So the question is, are we going to see another 40% drop? Now, granted, we only have 2 data points. It's not like we have 27 data points. But again, the facts are the facts. The past 2 times we did this, it was a 40% drop. Now, does this mean we're going to see another 40% drop? Absolutely not. Does it mean that we could see further downside action? It does. Because what you'll notice is in the beginning of the drop, we did form a new pivot, and then we started consolidating and we formed another pivot, right? And the same thing happened in the next point, right? We had this pivot and then we had another pivot low here. Okay, so this, pay attention to the RSI over the next few days in the coming weeks. What's going to happen with this RSI? Are we going to break this pattern and avoid this 40% drop? We've already seen less than a 20% drop, but it has been substantial. We can call it 18%. Something bigger on a bigger time frame, a 6-month candle, is the bearish engulfing. And again, if you're new to our channel, a bearish engulfing candle simply means that the body of the candle is red and it's bigger than the previous body, which has to be green. If those rules are true, it's a bearish engulfing candle. This is the first time Bitcoin has ever seen it on the 6-month chart, meaning usually bearish engulfing candles will affect the next several candles, meaning if it's 6 months, the next several more than 1.5 years will be affected by this single candle that was printed here. First in history. And we've had the opposite happen. A bullish engulfing candle, which was a green body, which was bigger than the previous red body, which makes it a bullish engulfing candle, which is a trend reversal to the upside. We're seeing the opposite happen here, a trend reversal to the downside. But this is another one. We have the log growth curves where 99.9% of the price action has happened inside of the log growth curves, meaning in the top yellow line and the bottom yellow line, all price action has happened in between these 2 lines until recently. Bitcoin has now acted as resistance to what has been our support for Bitcoin's entire history. But it doesn't stop there, because at the bottom of here, we have the RSI on the monthly chart. Right? We've always had our pivot lows right around this point of about 44, 43. But what's different this time is not only did we break it, but we're holding it as resistance, right? We had our pivot low here in June. And then in July, we got resistance. We got rejected from what used to be our support. No surprise, that's how charts work. But what is concerning is, what are we going to do next? Is this going to be a new type of of time for Bitcoin where we're holding long-term resistance from what used to be our support. Because again, when you look at price action, we've said many times, we could hold this yellow line as resistance for many months to come. It could be, into early next year where we're still holding this yellow line as resistance. It's all going to play out in the charts with the facts. But again, the first thing that we would need to do is get the RSI above this 44 and hold it as support for the first time in quite a while. We do not want to see continued resistance here, especially multiple rejections. The more time we get rejected from an area that's supposed to be strong resistance, the weaker that we become. We have to show strength. We've got to get above here, and we have to start to change our momentum. And the last but not least, this is the one everyone is asking about. Classic textbook bear flag formation. And we followed it month after month after month. We were going from the bottom to the top, to the bottom, to the top. And we said, watch for a break. These are usually a continuation pattern, continuation of this downturn. All right. A lot of people think, hey, this is a rising channel. We're making new highs and we're making new lows, higher highs and higher lows. This is a bear flag formation, a textbook one, and we looked for that breakout. We took a measured pull, and it brought us down to just under 19,000. Okay, that's where traders would take some trades off the table to avoid it and add some long-term positions on the table for the next leg. But again, what we did was we actually formed into a second bear flag. This is where things get very interesting, because our first bear flag obviously didn't turn out very well. Now we're in another one where we're in this channel where we're creating higher highs, we're creating higher lows, everybody is happy except the charts. The chart here is saying, look, we're in some trouble, okay? What you don't want to see is a breakdown here. We talked about it on our channel. This was our breakdown candle. This was our confirmation candle. You can see our confirmation candle actually got resistance again from this area, and that was the start of our absolute downfall in Bitcoin. It was a bloodbath. It was very gruesome, and we do not want to see that again. Here we are in a candle that's going to close very, 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 very soon. We are going to close as a breakdown candle, more than likely. And if this is a breakdown candle, the next candle will be a confirmation candle. We do not want to see that close below this level here. The current level is at about 21.2K. So these are the charts that scare me. What I will say is that when you base everything on the facts and the charts, and you look purely at the facts without any emotion, and when you look at facts like these ones, where we have the 100 MA and the 20 MA crossing at precisely the market bottoms, and it crossed at 17.5K. It also crossed in 2015 at precisely the bottom. When you look at other facts like this one, we're in the golden zone. We're knee deep in the golden zone. We touched our yellow line just as we've done in the past. There's some of these facts. We're holding 19.5K with incredibly strong support. There's these facts that we're looking at. Could we have a double bottom where a handful of months from now, even up to a year from now, we come back down and double bottom at this purple line? We could absolutely do that. What the facts are saying right now is still 60 days later, there's still more facts that are saying that the bottom is in fact in. Now, as you know, about 6 months ago, we predicted that the strongest level in Bitcoin was 13.7K. That hasn't changed, right? You can see the chart that we showed you here. 13.7K is the strongest level. Nobody can argue that. It's just based on the facts and the charts. We got the bodies of all these candles, the wicks of all these candles. Could we still fall to here? We absolutely could. We absolutely could. Nobody knows on planet Earth. But what we can base things on are the facts and the charts. It's saying that it's likely the bottom is in, but again, we've got some turmoil on our hands that we need to watch over the coming weeks, which could change our tune.
Hi, Dion. That's quite a concerning video that we just watched. So what do you think? Is Bitcoin going to drop to 13,700?
Jazzo, it's difficult to say. I've just quickly shared my screen there. So just to quickly go over a bear flag. This is on the 4 hour where everyone is seeing it. So the bear flag consists of a quick spike down, an impulse down, and that's exactly what happened. And then also, like a parallel channel must be going upwards. So this is an absolute perfect bear flag. So technically it's perfect, and then the target for that would be from the breakdown of that, or when we break out and start going down, would be around about 18,500 is the technical target. But just going back, we've got very, very strong support here at 19.3 and also at 20,700. So the fact that it's a technically correct pattern, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go that far down. It's just a possible target. But there is a lot of support for Bitcoin down here. And remember earlier this week or last week we spoke about the hash ribbons indicator and that signal that we got. We still got a buy signal there, and that over time has been very, very valid too. So pullbacks happen. I also think with the news coming out this afternoon that we spoke about earlier, is that there's a big potential that they're just going to drop this down as a fake out. They said that it could be that they're just setting this up and that they're going to fake out to the bottom side here to 27 and then run it up back up to the top, because these candles all have to be recovered still, and they would come back to do that. So there's much more, I think, above us, liquidity above us for the market makers to come back to. So it is technical, it is scary, it is correct, and most often these do play out. But I think personally, that's my bet, is that I think we're going to have a fake out and then we're going to carry on to the upside. But no discounting, it could go as low as 18.5 and even lower. So we never know with Bitcoin. No one knows, but that's my guess.
There's a very good chance that Bitcoin will make a strong double bottom. So I remember, when was it? In April of 2021. Bitcoin had a tremendous crash there. I think it was actually in May when Bitcoin fell, and I think it fell all the way down to 30,000, and then later on it fell down again to 27, and so it kind of made like a double bottom, and then he had a tremendous run all the way up to $67,000. So we might just be looking at a double bottom on the big chart before we're going up. Yeah, so there's so many people that are so bullish on Bitcoin, and a lot of people actually believe it was market manipulation to push Bitcoin below 30,000. So that's why right now I'm also bullish. I think altcoin season is not far away, so that's also my opinion.
For sure. Yeah, and also we know from previous experience is when the whole market, when social media and the news and CNN and everyone is very fearful and they also be going down, that's exactly when Bitcoin goes the opposite way. So we've learned our lessons before, so it could just be a good indication that we are actually going up. You never know. All this fear in the market, that's, as we also spoke about last week with the fear and greed index, when there's so much fear, that's normally when Bitcoin just goes the other way. So we're bullish.
Guys, there's a good chance if you put in a trade in Bitcoin, especially if it can just make that fake out that Dion was talking about and bounce down to 19,000, that you could buy Bitcoin at a very good price. You can put your take profit around about 25,000 and make a very nice profit there, because I think there's going to be strong resistance maybe at the 25,000 mark. But let's see what happens. We're going to be back again. I also want to do today a short trading video with the trading parrot about how to connect your 3Commas account with your Binance account. Thank you, Dion. Thanks for the analysis. We're going to be back shortly again. See you later. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you later. Cheers.